The A-Class DJ. It's Supta and your favorite A-lister, Tshepi.
We're having a really dope conversation right now. If you are starting up a business or even thinking of starting a business, it is a new year and now you may have the financial capacity to do so or even the mental strength to do so. Congratulations to you. The beautiful thing is that you're going to start where you are. So we've got Nthoana to help you, and the intention here is to make sure that you run a successful as well as a sustainable business. So we're talking about the importance of independent audits in your business and what the purpose is. Is it even necessary? Nthoana is here to help us with that.
So we've had so many different topics, literally starting from how you register a business. So go check them out on our YFM app. If you're thinking of starting or getting into a new business, it will help you, guide you, and help you navigate your way through this business world. But today our focus is really about independent audits. Nthoana, good morning, brother.
Good morning, Supta. How are you?
Good. Back to regular programming. You that side, us this side. Oh, man.
Just when we were having fun.
Right?
At least we started a year on a good note.
That's true.
Absolutely. Teboho, let's talk about independent audits in a business. Firstly, what exactly is an audit?
Okay. Let me take this opportunity to say good morning to all the YFM listeners. Supta, an audit, it's an official inspection of an organization, of an organization's account, to hopefully, detect any discrepancies, any fraud that could be involved in the business, or most importantly, the compliance and accountability of the business. Because remember, there is a prescription on how finances needs to be accounted for, and that's so as to avoid your creative accounting and things like that could be putting the company and its employees in disrepute. So this definitely is an audit. We've got two types of auditing. We've got an internal and external audit. So in internal audit, it's the one that you do it within your business, and that could be done by either your bookkeeper or your accountant, or other people. They even use an independent company to actually do that. Then in external, it's an external company, whether it could be SARS or it could be maybe banks that have given you finances, or any other else that could come to audit within your business.
Teboho, I kind of see starting out a business like being a child, where you have to first you have to first sit up, in fact, then crawl, then fall, then walk, then be able to be confident, and then get into everything else, teenager, adulthood, whatever. So that's kind of how I see the progression of being in a business. And there's just some things that we won't always get right, and also that we won't even know in the process. What should be up to date, and what should we be preparing in order for our business to have a clean audit?
Okay. To have a clean audit, in any business, the first key thing that you need to do is to be able to have an exact, trace of money coming in and money going out. To settle the money that is coming in, where is the money coming from? Did you have to sell a service for you to get that money? Did you have to sell a product for you to get that money? How much did that product, cost you to be able to have it? And how much profit are you making out of that? And from that, what are your fixed costs? Your fixed costs, remember, these are the costs that you pay whether your business makes money or not. The minute you could be able to account for every cent, and every cent equally that goes out, because I've seen half of the time, most of us, especially small business, we're very good in accounting for business, for money that comes in, as opposed to money that goes out. We know exactly who owes us, who will need to pay us, when they need to pay us. But all of a sudden, with money going out, we have amnesia. You say you took a company, a company card, and I swiped dinner for me and Tshepi, for instance, or I bought a bunch of flowers. We don't account for those things, And I've realized these are the things that create discrepancies in our business. Sometimes that bottle of water that you took out from the fridge and you drink it without having to account for it, without it having to go through the till. These are some of the things that come to catch up with us, because they start small and they grow gradually.
Interesting.
And eventually become big. And there's things like shrinkages as well. Shrinkages is your stock theft. that perhaps could be involved, or stock vanishes out of the blue, you might never know to say right now, is this stock being stolen by either your customers or let alone if employees as well. It's you now being able to investigate these things, that you're able to mitigate those risks, because these are the risks that could, break your business or kill your business tomorrow. Hence, the importance of auditing, because these are the things that helps you keep these things. So that's why I would encourage small business to say, depending what level you want to grow at, what level you want to be playing at, you might see this an unnecessary expense, but if you can do auditing from the onset of your business, by all means do so that is able to make your business bankable, and tomorrow you're able to attract money or opportunity.
Teboho, we see a lot of businesses, celebrate clean audits, and clearly there's a meaning to this when it comes to the business. What is that?
Okay, clean audit, it mainly speaks to you having followed procedures. Let me make an example. In a context of organizations that usually celebrate, it would be your governmental, organization.
Number one, ke abo.
Yes, because remember now they managing or they having access to our tax money. So, which is now obviously that influenced by PFMA if it's a national organization. Then from there, if ever it's a governmental organization, it's MFFMA. So to say obviously how you spend this money, how you do not spend this money, and how you account for that money. So therefore, having followed procedure, in regards to that, which obviously with that as well, it has its own discrepancies.
Yeah.
The auditor becomes the auditor general, and sometimes you would find, I've known of cases where auditors have been bribed to turn a blind eye, or even let alone help clean some of these discrepancies, because some of these organizations, I tell you, it's organizations that I know self that what is happening there, but you find they're announcing a clean audit.
And big corporates as well.
Exactly. Do you understand? So it's really that. That's why right now we need to have a regulatory that has teeth, as other than the competition commissioner, that can really hold people to account, that can really be able to do forensic investigation where necessary, to be able to trace money. That's why right now you look at some of these organizations that the SIU is going for. These are organizations that had clean audits, that had this and this. But now with the expertise of SIU, they unraveling all of these things that have been happening. They're following the money trail. They're doing all of these things that half of the time you find once upon a time they would be easily getting hidden. So it's something that I've realized that in every system, people are able to learn loopholes and take advantage of. So it's a question to say now, in your business, are you going to be stealing from yourself, or you're going to be running an ethical business that is having the right numbers from the onset? Because tomorrow you might not know. You need money, you go to the bank or you go to an investor. They look at these things when we're doing due diligence. So you don't want to be shooting yourself in the foot.
That's what I needed to know. Okay. That's what I needed to know, is how important a clean audit is for a business, and is whether or not it matters in investment when someone wants to invest, or whether you're applying for funding, etc. That I think is an important part. There's so many challenges that young businesses also face when it comes to audits and during audits. And like you say, there are unfortunately businesses that do wait for Kotrinki under the table, and there's many other challenges that seem to be stressful for business owners. What should we be looking out for when we have hired an independent auditor into our business?
Okay, definitely one thing you should look out for is that person registered to an industry body. So if ever the person is an accountant, they'll be registered with the South African Institute of Accountants, or they'll be registered with the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants if they're chartered accountants. Because even with that industry body, they sign a code of ethics to say we're going to be ethical practitioners. So hence, so that should they do anything shady, you're able to report them to those industry bodies. Then those industry bodies would investigate and even strip them of the power that they have, or even sometimes to a certain extent where it's severe, they could constitute criminal charges against those practitioners. You don't just take a person I am from the street and just say, come do my books. Just same goes for bookkeepers. There's an ethical code for bookkeepers on what they need to follow and what they need to prescribe to, And another thing, the Companies Act definitely protects us in terms of our fiduciary responsibilities, and half of the time we tend to neglect those. So let's definitely take advantage and look at what is involved in our business and who we're hiring and exactly what are we doing. But at the same time, we should not be enablers for people to do, illegal stuff in our business, and we turn a blind eye, or we know that we benefit out of those.
Teboho, thank you, brother. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. We really, really appreciate it. How can we get a hold of you?
I'm on all social media platforms. It's at Teboho Nthoana, or my website, teboho.co.za.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Back again next weekend. Have an amazing day, yeah?
No, definitely. Thank you. You too, man.
Did I say next weekend? Next week.
Party DJ.
Weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. only on Y.